Stop derailing the conversation and making it about your feelings when women say men are garbage.
I get a lot of comments like this. I just find it really sus that I can't talk about things men are good at without also having to talk about things that women are good at. Women, not everything is about you.
Guys, y'all looking at the thumbnail, y'all looking at the title of the video, y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. First and foremost, shout out to 21 Studios. Today's compilation comes compliments of 21 Studios. So feel free to click the link down in the description box down below, okay? Because I'm probably not going to go over the entire compilation. So go up there and finish the content, all right? For today's compilation, top real women on TikTok destroying feminist. Without further ado.
Yeah, you're right. It was internalized misogyny that made women want to stay at home and care for their children instead of taking on men's responsibilities.
Okay, just real quick, let's go over what it says right here. And why is that? Internalized misogyny, the more you know. Okay, so internalized misogyny here refers to women subconsciously projecting sexist ideas onto themselves or to other women. And the key word there is subconscious. So it's like they don't know that they're doing that. And of course, the word misogyny there is the hate and or prejudice for women. So my guess here is why the femi here that's replying to this young lady is speaking about why women chose to be home more often than not.
And never mind the fact that for poor women, there never was an option to stay at home. They had to work to survive.
That's true.
But really, men had it so good at the beginning of the 1900s. They could work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day,
right,
in amazing sanitary conditions.
This looks like
and
shit.
They got drafted. Amazing opportunities, really.
Yo, the sarcasm, wait, hold up.
It's like this.
Shout out to mama. The sarcasm in this clip is absolutely top tier. It's top notch. Here's the thing is that there's this degree of revisionist history that happens when these discussions occur. And it seems to romanticize the idea of working back at a time before women were not in the workplace like that. And this is not a cubicle, right? In front of a computer. These boys are struggling. You give me a choice between doing this and staying at home and taking care of kids. I probably choose staying home and taking care of kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to that cubicle lifestyle at the end of the day. But, you know, as times change, you know, systems have evolved. We've created much more of a first world society. They've created better tools to deal with periods, right? So it's to more so even out the production value or rate of men versus women, but still there's that strength thing from a blue collar perspective. But even now today, you don't see young women signing up to be bricklayers. It just doesn't happen as much as what men sign up to do that. But instead of acknowledging the differences between men and women in the society and our value and our attributes that we're able to contribute, which might make more sense why someone might stay at home versus one going into the workplace during an intensely blue collar society, you just say internalized misogyny. It's the ridiculousness of today's modern feminists.
I get a lot of comments like this. I just find it really sus that I can't talk about things men are good at without also having to talk about things that women are good at. Women, not everything is about you.
Stop derailing the conversation and making it about your feelings when women say men are garbage.
I can already hear the angry feminists in my comment section, but two things. One, not all men are garbage.
Wait, before she gets into her shit, how do you kick off men off of TikTok for talking to men how to conduct themselves, but women continue to say all men are garbage on this exact same platform, and that shit still rides free? That's why I refuse to get on TikTok. Y'all need to stop sending me messages about, yo, you should get on TikTok, G. No, I can't support or create content for an app that is this uneven in how they choose to deal justice for content. But let's see what she has to say.
Are there some bad women? Yes. Doesn't give you the right to label all women as bad.
Big
Are
true.
there some bad men? yes, does not give you the right to label all men as bad. In fact,
Big true.
some might call that sexist.
Yep.
2, what's really garbage is the modern day feminist movement. It is no
Big
longer
garbage.
about women and men being equal. It is about women feeling superior to men and degrading them, then accusing them of oppressing us with patriarchy,
Victimhood.
which is simply not the case.
Not the
In fact,
case.
it's harder to be a man today than it is to be a woman.
Yeah.
How so? Depression, suicide, anxiety, homicide, jail time, homelessness, really anything you can think of outside of sexual assault. And I'll go ahead and say, it's not cool that a man was sexist towards you, but that does not give you the right to label all men as garbage. It is simply not true, and it only serves to further divide us based on gender.
I don't know who you are, young lady, but shout out to you. This is the type of content that I love to see. Women actually standing up for and defending men. The idea that people use their feelings to drive this discussion about all men ain't shit, this, that, and the third, and to watch young women break it down from a logical perspective, just because the men that you encountered ain't shit, I mean that all the other men that's out here ain't shit. I bet you there's a couple of friends in your friend zone that are worth a damn, but you choose to open up your legs to the Brads, the Chads, and the Tyrones, which feeds into your idea that the Brads, the Chads, and the Tyrones encompass all men of society. No. It's not true. Instead of taking accountability for the bad men that you chose to enter into your life and enter into your viscous innards, you instead project your hate of your bad decisions onto the world and create a miniature hate group that espouses bullshit on men. You should be ashamed of yourself, but the young lady right here came through in the clutch.
This is so wrong for so many reasons. It's not just that they've both been playing professional basketball for...
I was just gonna...
Hold up! Was that LeBron James? Sue Bird, 17 seasons in the NBA, 4 WNBA championships, salary $215,000. Bonus for winning 2020, $11,000. Okay, what? Like, duh, that WNBA brings in less money. I think one of the biggest travesties within American culture is that we had not given a little bit more credence to classes in junior high school and high school to critical thinking. Being able to interpret information and say, what's missing here, and to correctly assess the information that's being placed in front of me. Because I think that if you had, it's almost like in a capitalistic society, you don't want to do that. Because the more that you don't do that, the more stupid people that walk around buying shit or doing things that make people who are rich richer. But no, milady, this is not wrong. Why? Because the NBA actually makes money. They can't give you money out of a pot that doesn't exist. You must understand this. Sports, as with many things in life, is a business. And if you have a business because of the talent, the marketing, the branding, makes $1 billion per year. And then you have another business. And because of the talent, the branding, the marketing, and so many other things, makes $0 to -dollars per year. Do you really honestly think that the partakers of the talent of both of those businesses should be paid the same?
It's not just that they've both been playing professional basketball for...
I was just going to keep scrolling, but then I saw your description. You said not to come at you with the whole the NBA makes more money. But that's literally how it works. To prove to you that this isn't sexism, I will give you an example involving 2 men.
Let's hear it.
This is Robert Downey Jr. He plays Iron Man. We all know this. He, for many, many years, was the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he made a lot of money while he did it. This is Stephen Amell. He plays the Green Arrow on the CW. He also was basically the face of his own superhero franchise. CW had a lot of TV shows, and they all shared the same universe, and it was actually called the Arrowverse, so you know he was the face of it. Guess who made more money?
Downey.
Robert did. Because the MCU was much more profitable than the Arrowverse was. It has a bigger audience, it's on a bigger scale.
Bigger reach.
Your paycheck is going to reflect the profit of the company you're working for.
Yes.
They can't pay you money they don't have.
I love that example because it took gender out of it, and it comes down to the business. If the business is not as profitable, you cannot expect to make the same amount of money. In order to substantiate your argument, you want to remove the one data point that proves that it's not being sexist. It's about the business. It's about the money. Stop what you're doing right now and go take an economics course because you're behind. My childhood best friend posting her nudes on Insta with the hashtag of empowerment. Oh yeah, one of those. The ones with daddy issues that are clearly broken. I'm sure that she's happy not being in a friendship with her anymore. Not one guy offered to help me load this, but a woman in a dress did.
Let's unpack why in the world you think any random man should just help you.
Yeah.
Why? Between the fact you're a grown-ass woman, if you're going to the store for something that's probably heavier, you can't lift on your own, you should probably bring a friend.
Yeah, you know you're buying it.
It is not the duty of any random man to come save you when you can't do something yourself.
No, especially not today.
Putting a woman in a dress doesn't make it any more like, a woman help me. She was wearing a dress. There are many things you can do in a dress.
Good call out.
But my second part of this is, why would men help women these days, especially random women? He comes up and goes to be nice to you, and it's, you creep, get away from me. Or, oh, what'd you say to me? There's so many things random women have said to random men nowadays when they're trying to help, that it makes it uncomfortable for them. Men have held the door open for women, and they get mad about it, let alone, let me help you take this to your car? Yeah. Okay, like some woman wouldn't have a field day with that one. Why are you following me in my car? Why are you asking me to go to my car? Like, no, f*** off.
Here's the thing, though, is that I think that most of those reactions are from just shitty people. So I'm not going to let the reactions of shitty people deter what I think is right or wrong in a particular situation. Just the other day, I was walking by, and this young lady was trying to get up out of a parking space, but she couldn't because there was snow, so the tires were slipping. So I said, hey, do you need help? She said, yes, could you help me? And I walked behind the car and I started to push. But I made my intentions exceedingly clear. And the thing is that I know that I have to do that more so now because of things like the Me Too movement and these angry radical feminists that walk around deterring shit from women that would actually need help.
Men, especially random men, should not have any obligation to sit there and help you out for a choice you made. Don't go to Home Depot then if you can't handle it on your own. I don't know what to tell you. Or maybe ask one of the workers, because I'm pretty sure it's their job to help you. So stop attacking men for not helping you when it's not their fucking job.
Recently on my TikTok, I've been having some trouble with feminists.
Oh.
And I just have a few things to say.
What's up?
Feminists will claim they love and will fight for all women. But what I don't understand
Not traditional
is,
women.
Tell feminists you're having conflicting opinions with them and see how badly most of them start treating you. Part of toxic femininity is ostracizing women who go against them. The majority of feminists aren't guided by moral principles. Instead, they're guided by political agendas, a thirst for power, their egos, and a desire for revenge. And they think they are so enlightened when they are just ideologically possessed.
Okay, I just want to point out that there is nothing wrong with being dependent on someone you love for something. Because the fact of the matter is that as human beings, we can't do it all on our own. I don't care how much of a baddie you think you are and how independent you may be, you are dependent on someone for something. Right now, in this phase of my life, I am mostly dependent on my husband for finances, and my husband is mostly dependent on me to take care of our children, and we're both dependent on God to give us life every day. We work together and depend on each other for different things, and in doing so, we are able to create a life that we wouldn't be able to have on our own. And that is what marriage is, and that is what family is, and it is wonderful, and it's not something to be embarrassed of or to be ashamed of. It doesn't make you weak. I'm so happy that I have someone that I can count on, someone who can help me and someone who I can help, and we can get through life together. There's nothing weak and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Just because you want to be a traditional housewife and you are financially dependent upon your husband doesn't mean that you are a weak woman, a weak person, a weak being. It doesn't mean that. It's what you've set up for your life. And because she has a healthy relationship of what's going to make her happy in life, I guarantee you she'll live a way more happier than the majority of the people that clown her for her life decisions.
There's nothing weak and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
All right, guys, that's actually the end of the clips for today. Shout out again to 21 Studios. What did you guys think? Make sure when you comment down below, you're leaving your timestamp so I know exactly which clip that you are talking about. Shout out to all the lovely young ladies that are standing up for manhood, masculinity, because it's going to take y'all to really move the needle with modern women today. Most modern women don't realize how much of the ideologies of radical feminists have inflicted within their minds, to the degree of having a subconscious disdain for men. You can't form and bond fantastic relationships if you harbor an ingrained, unknown dislike for the opposite gender. It's virtually impossible and will most likely always turn into a toxic situation and or environment. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. This was a good one. Link down in the description box down below. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.